Okay, so you guys can now move a player in Unity forward and backwards, left and right, using code that we wrote and dragged into our player's components. That's great. We're going to edit this to make it a little bit better. I'm going to show you some weird errors. For example, the camera's not following me. We could change that. As I move forward and back, I'm at one speed, left and right's one speed. But if I go diagonal, I'm actually a lot faster. We need to normalize our speed so that our forward speed and sideways speed don't get multiplied to give us extra diagonal speed. In the original Quake games, Doom games, moving diagonal was always a lot faster because of this exact problem. So we're going to normalize our speed to remove that so that the player doesn't have to walk diagonally all game. And we'll mess with all of that today. We might add some camera code to make our camera follow as well. We'll see how far we get. Let's open our player controller back up. And let's see what we want to do. So we want to normalize the speed. So, and we want to make it so we can also fall down. Right now we're set to 0 on the Y. So let's do this. Let's create a new variable called move direction. Move. Let's create a new. Let's create a vector3 move direction equals new vector3 horizontal vertical normalized. Okay, and then for the y, we're actually going to use our rb.linearvelocity.y if it lets us. That would be great. Okay, so what this is saying, the direction we're moving should be our horizontal direction, the direction we're already moving. No, we shouldn't do this yet because we have to multiply it by our speed, and we don't want to multiply that by our speed. Okay. So we've normalized it. And then once it's normalized, that'll set our direction correctly. And then we're going to multiply this whole thing. Where should I multiply it from? So we have to multiply this by move speed. That looks like it worked. And then after we multiply it by move speed, then on a new line, actually, you know what? We'll do it this way. We'll just write this normally. So we're going to get our move direction is going to be our horizontal direction. It's going to be our vertical direction. And then we will get a new line. So we're going to normalize it. So that's going to fix that error where we move faster if we're going horizontally and vertically at the same time. And then we're going to do move direction. Move direction equals move direction times move speed. So now our move direction won't just be 1. It'll be set to whatever our move speed is. And then we're going to add, so move direction equals new vector3. There we go. Rigid body dot linear velocity y. Linear velocity y. Okay, so what this is doing is now move direction is going to be a new value. It's going to be the current value for x, the current value for z, but it's going to use our current y value up and down for the y value. That way it doesn't affect the y value. And then linear velocity will just be equal to move direction. Okay, that's the direction we'll move in. I think that's a little bit more complicated. Take a second, copy this down. We should have some more advanced behaviors. Let's look and let's see if it's all working. Okay, this is working. It's all normalized. It looks good. Now let's look at something else. We have variables that we could affect. So if I go to my player, I have my player controller here. It has a move speed variable. If I increase this variable, I can move faster. If I decrease this variable, I can move a lot slower. So you guys in your game can start messing with variables to change the properties of what we're doing, to change how fast we move. Okay, that's great. I have my move speed. Let's add a jump. So let's look at adding a jump, and then that'll be it for this video, and then we'll do camera controls in the next video. Okay, jumping is a little complicated though. Well, it's not that complicated. Let's just start by creating some jumping code. So we'll do this. We will create a line of code for jumping. So at the end, after we're done moving in whatever direction we're moving in, we'll say if we press a certain key. Why is this not working? Oh my God, my AI is too smart. Okay, if our input.getKeyCodeDown is keycode space, make sure to do the correct parentheses. This is keycode downs parentheses, this one, and this one. These parentheses, this one and this one, are for the if statement. If you click on them, they should have their matching parentheses highlighted. A very common coding error is not having your parentheses lining up correctly. So rb.addForce vector3.up. So that's up times, let's, instead of timesing 5f, let's time this by jump force, and we'll create a new jump force variable. Public float jump force is 5f. Okay, so now if I press spacebar, it's going to add a force up multiplied by the jump force, and it's going to do that on force mult impulse, which doesn't really matter. This is just what we write at the end of a jump. It's just a way of applying force to our object. Okay, let's test this jump out and let's see if we like it. So I press play, I press jump. That looks like a nice little jump. Okay, cool. I can move around, I can jump, but there's a problem. I have an infinite number of jumps. It's like Flappy Bird right now. You guys could go right now and use this jump code to make like a 3D Flappy Bird game if you wanted to. You don't have to change it. But I only want to be able to jump when I'm touching the ground. Okay, so let's fix that. We need to be touching the ground. So we'll say end is grounded. But we don't have an is grounded variable, so I'll have a public bool is grounded equals true. So a bool is a boolean is a value that can either be true or false. So when I write bool, this is grounded variable. It can't be 1, it can't be 2, it can't be 3, it can't be A, it can't be C. It can only be the word true or the word false. Now we have to check if we're grounded. So we're going to do a ground check. So before I jump, so we set the movement already, that doesn't matter. Before I jump, we'll check if we're grounded. We'll say is grounded, and then we're going to do something called a raycast. We'll do physics.raycast. So what this will do is it'll create a little beam looking below the player, and it'll check if we're near the ground. But okay, we might have some things to fix because we'll see. Let's set grounded to false at the end of this. So when we jump, is grounded should equal false. Okay. And okay, now we should only be able to jump while we're grounded. Let's try it. So we have this new value is grounded. It's checking if our transform.position is within 1.1 units. It's checking if from our transform.position, the direction down is 1.1 distance from another game object. Which object is it looking for? Is it looking for any collider? We'll see if it works. We might have to set it so that it knows exactly which object it's looking for. But let's see. I'm on the ground. I press jump. I'm off the ground. Okay, that works phenomenally. Okay. So now I can only jump when I'm on the ground. That is great. We could also increase the jump force. Let's try that. Let's do jump force 8. Let me see that. Let's try jump force 90. Boom, right out of the map. Okay, cool. Maybe you have a launching game where you're, shooting something out of a catapult and you press spacebar to launch it, and then stuff happens up in space and your camera follows it up into space. Who knows? You could have a launching game using that mechanic, using that force mode impulse, adding this jump force to it. Could have like a launching game. Who knows? Something like that. But for now, we just have this platforming game. I'm just giving us suggestions, things to think about as we make our game. because it could be any game you want. Okay, this looks pretty clean. Let's do one last thing. Let's do a double jump. And then once we do the double jump, we will start a new video for the camera. Okay, so double jump. Let's find a good way to do that. Let me think for a second. Let's have a value called number of jumps. Okay, let's have a couple things. No, not an update. Let's have new variables at the top. We have jump force. Let's have a public int. An int is an integer. We'll say, sure, max jumps equals 2. And then we'll say, we'll do another private. We'll say private jumps remaining equals 1. Private int, another integer. So an integer is a whole number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Integers can't have decimals. Integers can't have fractions. They're just whole numbers. They're integers. They can be negative as well. And 0. Okay. So int jumps remaining is, let's say, 2. The max jumps remaining we could have is 2. And now, instead of is grounded, we'll say and jumps remaining is greater than 0. And then instead of is grounded is false, we'll say jumps remaining minus minus. And we'll actually also include the is grounded is false. It'll have a slightly better... There's a glitch you could do where if you double tap it in like 2 frames back to back, you might be able to double jump and get an extra jump. So we're just going to keep is grounded as false there. Don't worry too much about it. So now, if we have jumps remaining, we're going to lose a jump and we're going to jump. Is grounded is going to be set. And we're going to say, if we're grounded, jumps remaining equals not 2, equals max jumps. That should all work. I think that'll work. So now in our game, we should be able to set how many jumps we have using this public max jumps number. So let's go to my game. And I'll click on my guy. I'll set his max jumps to 3. I'll press play. And I think if we did this right, I should have 3 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 4 jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's setting the jumps back to full the first frame we jump because it's checking. Let me look at my scene really fast. Let me look at my ground checker if I can. Okay, so let's just do it this way. We're getting an extra jump. That's fine. It's a feature, not a bug. We'll say public int extra jumps equals 2. Nah, we should fix this. I gotta think for a second. No, it's fine. They'll just get one more jump than we say. It is what it is. Extra jumps plus 1. Where's my error? I'm still using max jump somewhere. Okay, sorry. So I'll scroll through this slowly. Oh, I didn't save. I had to Control S to save. My thing was yellow on the side. I haven't said that much, but I have to save. Okay. So I just renamed max jumps to extra jumps. That's all I did. The whole thing is on the screen right now. This is the whole player code. These are our variables. This is our start function. And then this is our update function. If you're missing something, you should check that every single symbol is exactly the same. You could copy it into an AI, and that'll check it for you. Okay, whatever. This is working well enough. It's fine. There's a tiny glitch, but we'll fix glitches as we progress. So extra jumps is 2, so I would expect to jump 3 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could always do 1 more than my extra jump. So maybe I just want 0 extra jumps, and that'll just give me 1 double jump, and I'll just know that I have 1 more jump than whatever this value says. But if I set it to 0, wouldn't it... Extra jumps is 0. Okay, so extra jumps is 0, I still get a double jump. I could set it to... So if I set it to -1, there's a new problem where I'm just showing us. Now I don't think I'm going to be able to jump at all, because now I have 0 jumps by default. Yeah, so now I can't jump. Okay, so with our current code, we'll just have a double jump, and we'll just know that jumps remaining is extra jumps plus 1. Yeah, we'll just know that we have an extra jump. It's fine. We have 1 extra jump just from a glitch, but it's fine. We're not going to worry about it. It's just going to be, that's intended. I meant to have a double jump here. That's intentional. We have a double jump. Okay. If you want more jumps, you can increase extra jumps from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. Right now, we're just going to keep the double jump, and we're going to move on. Okay, I think we are done with movement for now, though. I think I'm happy. We added jumping mechanics. We looked at some variables. We added some jump force, some extra jump, stuff like that. I'm happy. Next video we're going to do is camera controlling so that our camera follows us around, and maybe our mouse controls our camera as well.